I'm just going to apologise in advance for any audio issues with regards to weather in the background. There's not much I could have done about it, and the microphone was being temperamental this morning, so apologies in advance, but please.
Hi guys, it's Carl. We are back with another video. It's been a while since I've put anything out on the channel. Members videos, normal videos, shorts, anything. It's been a very, very busy past few months. So I do apologise why I'm back, and we have a preview of the upcoming game against West Ham United at St James's Park tomorrow. I hope everyone's excited. I'm in a good mood about it all. There's been a nice positive turnaround, but yeah, we're going to do a preview. We're going to jump into it. Let's go. So, as I mentioned, Monday Night Football is back. We're set to face West Ham at St James's Park, and hopefully with a chance to win 3 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time in over a year. Over a year it's been since we've won 3 consecutive Premier League games, and hopefully we've got the opportunity to go and do that tomorrow night. Hopefully we do what we did against Nottingham Forest, although probably not go 1-0 down would be ideal, but essentially put on the performance that we were able to in terms of the attacking prowess that we had for the majority of that game, to be honest. But by no means at all is it going to be an easy fixture. In terms of recent form, obviously we're currently sat in 9th place, I believe. Might have changed after yesterday's fixtures, but 9th place roughly, and 18 points, only 3 points in it in terms of Champions League places, and it's so tight in terms of the top 11 at the moment, isn't it? It's absolutely mental. Villa's form has kind of fallen off a cliff, and to be honest, I think a lot of us thought it might do with the run of fixtures that they have, and that, you know, although they were looking very, very strong, I think we all thought that was it really possible for them to continue in the vein of form that they had. So obviously Arsenal have dropped points, Man City have dropped loads of points. The only team that have really been consistent in form is obviously Liverpool. So all of those places up for grabs. Nottingham Forest are obviously sat in 3rd and we beat them. Mental. It's a mental first half of the season so far. But anyway, as I mentioned, our recent result against Forest, 3-1, going 1-0 down, and obviously coming back with fantastic goals from Alexander Isak, Joe Linton and Harvey Barnes, of course, the super sub. I know probably we hate being dubbed that, but it's what it is. He's just so much more coming off the bench. He's so much more effective after you've had the likes of Gordon and, you know, Jacob Murphy or Miggy or Joe Linton, Joe Willett running at the fullbacks, and then Harvey Barnes just comes on and seems to do a job. And is that necessarily a bad thing? No, not for me. I know people like to see him start, but I just feel like he's almost ineffective in 90 minutes. Something we've got to work on with him, I guess. Obviously, with West Ham, things not quite as smooth for them. Currently sat in 14th place. And absolutely struggled for consistency. They've been on the ends of some absolute drubbins, but have also had some good results. And the display that they had against Everton in that 0-0 was horrific. And I think they would be completely open in saying that. There's no slight on West Ham. Like I said, they have shown quality at points in this season, especially at home, which is obviously going to work in our favour in this fixture, as their away form has been pretty poor, to be honest. Much the same as ours was last season, and not a great start to this season. And they've lost 3 of their last 4 away matches, conceding 7 goals in their last 2 away defeats. I think it's fair to say that one of the key narratives heading into this game is obviously our surge in form. It's fair to say that we have been a not very good side at times that have come out with results and then flipped that and being an excellent side and not coming out with results. And now it feels like there's a balance of where we're playing really, really well, and it looks like that resurgence has come that we all hoped would, and then we're starting to get the results that we expect to see from we've played some fantastic football. We have. Things just haven't gone our way, but it seems to be clicking. Fingers crossed, seems to be clicking. And albeit, you know, coming on against a relatively good side who aren't in a great vein of form is another opportunity to capitalise on that. We have obviously always shown strength at St James's Park. It is a fortress. We rarely lose there these days. Obviously, it's a frustrating day out against Brighton, but in some instances you could expect that to happen. But even that, we were absolutely battering them for 90 minutes, not taking chances, and you just felt, something, they get one chance, they're going to go and score, and then you could play the game 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times over and still not get a goal. And it just wasn't to be, and it wasn't for the want of a bad performance. We were just lacking in front of goal. But again, like I said, fingers crossed, we're starting to overcome that. Interesting stat, we've actually only lost once in our last 15 home games across all competitions. So obviously, like I mentioned, St James is obviously a fortress. But we're not just winning, of course, we are showing resilience. I think that's one thing that we have tried to pride ourselves on over the last few seasons in terms of the defensive resilience that we've had at times, and it hasn't been consistent, and I'm hoping that we can find some consistency in that again, because it's looking like that is starting to click as well. And we've still got Sven Botman to come back, we've still got Jamal Lascelles to help bolster the numbers. Hopefully, and I keep using that word hopefully, but hopefully we're on the turn. Yeah, what else have I got to say? Let's talk about West Ham struggles on the road a little bit. I've got a script that I've put together here. This is one of the first times I've done that, so I hope it works well. But obviously, West Ham, managed by Lopetegui, have been up and down this season. They're coming into this game with mixed form, as I've mentioned. A very, very underwhelming away record, something that we've been very much used to as Newcastle United fans. They've lost 3 of their last 4 away fixtures, including a 3-0 defeat to Forest, who we've just beaten 3-1, and also a 4-1 drubbing to Tottenham Hotspur, another side that we beat at St James's Park. Very much exposing the defensive vulnerabilities that they have at West Ham, and that's something that's been spoken about a lot amongst their fan base, and for something that they will also be looking to bolster in January. And something that we will obviously be looking to exploit with the likes of Gordon, Isak, Barnes, Joe Linton, Joe Wood. It's frightening attacking force that we have at times. And they'll be missing key players like Kudus, who's suspended, who's a very, very integral player of theirs. So the fact that he's not involved is obviously another good thing for us. Fulkrug remains doubtful with a lingering Achilles issue. And again, things that leave them vulnerable. And hopefully our relentless press that we come to personify Newcastle United's ethos is something that we can utilise and pressure West Ham to giving that ball away and capitalising off the back of that. In terms of injury concerns that we currently have still, Callum Wilson might be back. Also, Kieran Trippier might be in contention. I don't know if that's been updated off the back of Eddie Howe's press conference, so do forgive me. Dan Burns suspended for this one after receiving his 5th yellow card of the season, so we've got probably Lloyd Kelly stepping in on that one alongside Fabian Schär, and then with Trippier's fitness uncertain, you probably expect Tino Livramento to start, with Lewis Hall starting at left back as well. And then you're probably looking at a trio of Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Willock, and potentially Sean Longstaff again, who has been, again at times, a linchpin in that midfield. And when we've not seen it working between the likes of Bruno, Tonali and Joe Linton, for example, and then we've obviously got Alexander Isak, fresh off his recent goal, who has been in a right purple patch that we've just been waiting for and hoping that he can continue in that vein of form. In addition to Kuda's suspension, the West Ham side are also going to be without Fulkrug, and they could start with Jared Bowen, Paqueta and Antonio leading the attack. So that, again, on paper is frightening and something that we have to be inch perfect with regards to, because at any time one of those players can unlock our defence and score. And something that they've struggled with this season at times, but it's certainly a very attacking front three. We've got decisions to make with regards to Fabianski. He could retain his spot in goal if Areola remains unfit, which is possible. And then the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman will be tasked with keeping Newcastle United's forward line at bay. Not an easy task, of course, but very, very, very astute back three in terms of those three that we're talking about. We've looked to have found this newfound balance in our recent matches, which is blended discipline, defensive prowess that we've had at times, and obviously the press and the fast attacking approach that we've got. Gordon, Joe Linton and Isak leading the charge. I expect that we're going to press high against West Ham. I do, especially at home. It's something that can be a little bit tentative away from home, but I expect us to be pressing high at home. But have to be wary of that Jarrod Bowen, Paqueta and Antonio attack off the back of that. My prediction is that Newcastle United are going to run out 3-1 winners in this one. I don't expect that West Ham are not going to score with the abundance of quality that they've got. But on a Monday night in front of a 52,000 banging for blood St James's crowd, I expect Newcastle to get this one done, push up the table and continue off that back and form and just hopefully keep the European dream alive, as it's very much hanging in the balance. Just looking at previous results, both clubs have played 144 times within the Premier League. Us having the upper hand in recent encounters. We've gone unbeaten in our last 5 matches against West Ham, and that includes a memorable 5-1 win at the London Stadium last season. And also, the last time that West Ham beat us at St James's Park was back in 2021. So it does favour us in terms of history, and as I said, I'm going for a 3-1 win. You let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as I mentioned, with 3 crucial points up for grabs, it could be pivotal for our European hopes in terms of trying to push on for that. St James's Park, Monday night, absolutely buzzing, and need to prove that we're serious contenders for top 6, as you got to think that the Saudis are pushing for European football again this season. I say again, in terms of missing out on that massively last season. But West Ham will be looking to improve their desperate poor away performances that they've had. But I just think they're going to find themselves overwhelmed in front of a hugely ambitious Newcastle United crowd on a Monday night. 3-1 from me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you